Hello and welcome to Whozer Adventures. My name's Jim, and tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of cooking. I greatly appreciate you stopping by and watching the video. We'll go over what we're cooking and what we're cooking it on, and try to have some fun here. Hopefully you can pick up a few tricks and trades of what I do. And we'll have some fun. So stay with me and let's get to cooking. We're going to be cooking some what some people call country style ribs, and they're really good. It's not a rack of ribs. It's an individualing of rib style cut ribs that a lot of butchers do. And they're very meaty, very delicious to eat. And I'll show you what they kind of resemble here. So these here are the country style rib. These have been soaking in apple cider with apple juice and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. They've been marinating now for probably a good solid 8 hours. And what I like to do with these is the apple cider helps break down and make sure that the rib is very tender. The apple juice is giving it that sweet apple flavoring that a lot of people really enjoy when you're eating ribs. And just like when I do my racks of ribs, I try to marinate these for a pretty extended period of time. You know, even if you marinate for 24 hours, it's really a good quality meal once you're done. Over here, I use what's called a ReqTec 700 RT. This is a smoker right now. As you can see, I'm on low with extreme smoke. So I want to build a really good smoke ring on these ribs. So we're going to put these in there for a couple hours. What we want to do is we want to build a big smoke ring here with them. Okay. And then we'll come back once we've put these in there for a couple hours. We'll come back and I'll show you how I set my ribs up not only to be tender but extremely barbecued flavored all the way through. I'll go over some of the rubs that I use that I think enhances the flavor of the ribs without overpowering it, and we'll kind of go from there. So that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so I've transferred the ribs from the pan over here to a dry towel. Now I like to take and make sure that these are patted down pretty dry. Okay, I transfer the marinade to my squirt bottle. This will become what I do my when I'm moistening the ribs as they're cooking. Okay, that's going to be my spritz. I'm going to be using a rib rack barbecue rub. It's original. So nothing I'm showing you here you can't get at your local grocery store. Okay, and very reasonable. Country style ribs are like these were on sale for I believe $1.29 a pound. So you know, this is a very affordable meal for any family. So how do you get that rub to stick to to your ribs. I like to use mustard. Now some guys like to use olive oil. I think yellow mustard works best for me, but you can use olive oil. I've never tried vegetable oil. I've always kind of stuck to the guns that or Dijon mustard is another good one. I use a yellow mustard tonight, but sometimes, like on my racks, St. Louis style ribs, I'll use a Dijon style mustard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a light coating to these ribs, okay? And I'll show you a little bit of that now. Okay, so basically I'm going to take the rib, I'm going to kind of pat it out real good. I got my little piece of aluminum foil here. And I'm just going to put a small ring of mustard on it, little line. And I'm going to rub that rib on both sides. I'm going to get it in there real nice and good. Now, if you're not a fan of mustard, don't worry, because the mustard cooks off of it. You never actually taste the mustard. Mustard works so good, even when you see me fry my crappie and my bluegill and catfish, I even use mustard as a binder for the breading. Okay, then I'm going to lay it in the pan. Now I'm going to do each one of these ribs exactly the same way. Okay, nothing's going to change. Just going to rub that mustard in there real nice and good. And I'll come back and I'll show you what the end result looks like after I get all the rest of them with the mustard rubbed in. So, be back with you in just a second. Okay, so now the ribs are all rubbed down with their mustard coating, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our rub and we're going to start coating them. So when I owned my catering business, this was one of the fan favorites. Everybody liked the country style ribs. And I think the biggest reason is because the ribs themselves are very meaty. You know, and you're not really fighting with bones and stuff. I think some people, that kind of deters them from eating racks of ribs. So this is a fun little way to put a family dinner together that feeds quite a few, and can be a lot of fun to cook. So I'm just going to pat these ribs with the rub on it, make sure that rub's nice and bound to the rib. Rotate them around a little bit, use up what's left in the pan here. As you can see, these are starting to look pretty good. Then we're going to hit it with just another light coating all the way around. Now that's our ribs. Okay, so the next step is we're going to be putting them on the grill. Okay, we want to build that smoke ring. So for the first hour and a half to 2 hours, we're going to be building a smoke ring on these guys. Okay, so we're turning around here. As you can see, we got the smoke starting to billow, and we're going to lay these ribs right on there. Now, a good temperature to know when it's time to pull these would be right around probably that 85 to 90 degree mark. So if you got a meat thermometer, you know, and you come out and you check them, and it's only been, say, an hour and 15 minutes, and they're already at 85 or 80, between 80 and 90 degrees, separate them just a little bit. I don't want them too tight. I want to make sure the smoke really works up through there. Give them a little separation. Okay. Now we're going to hit them with our spritz. Just give them a little spritz. Just some moisture. Okay. Now we're going to let them go, like I said, for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And we'll come back and we'll take a look at them. Okay, y'all. It's been about an hour and a half. The ribs are running right at that 100 degree mark. Now we're going to start taking the next step here. So, as I said earlier, this is kind of a little trick that really kind of helps your ribs really become saucy. Now, if I'm cooking for other people, I definitely use gloves. When I'm cooking for me and Rebecca, I hardly ever use gloves. Kind of my grandma thing inside of me a little bit. But so I've got sliced butter, and we're going to lay this sliced butter down here. And what I've done is I've taken a piece of aluminum foil and kind of built me what I call the boat. Okay. And the butter is really going to help tenderize these ribs really well. And then I've got some light brown sugar. And by the way, guys, you know, you really don't need fancy stuff to do this. You know, you can buy stuff at your local grocery store. You don't need fancy stuff at all. You can make quality good food without spending a fortune. So this is light brown sugar. That's all it is, okay? And I'm using very generic stuff, okay, to prove my point. All right. So that's about what you're looking for, okay? Now, you want to take your favorite barbecue sauce, whatever it is. I'm using a Kraft, okay? Again, I'm looking for something very generic. A bottle of this is like, you know, $1.50, $1.80, something like that. And we're just going to layer that sauce just like this. Okay. All right. So the next step is we're going to pull our ribs out. And I want to get my tongs here. Hang on a second. Okay, so now we're ready to get the ribs out. Take a look at them. And that's what you're looking at right there. Those are nice. take our thermometer. So we're running about 111 on that one, 106 on that one, 111. So they're all about the same temperature. So we're going to put them here in our pan. Sure wish you folks could smell this, but it smells really good. Okay, we're going to shut our lid. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to turn my heat. This is a pellet grill. And if you don't have a pellet grill, you can use charcoal grills to do the same thing. We're going to go up to 270 degrees. Okay, we're going to let that start preheating, and we're going to come back over here to our boat. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lay our ribs in here. Okay. Okay. And once we get the ribs laid in here, the next step is we're going to build another layer of our brown sugar and sauce. I think we can make these work in here. Okay. So we're just going to layer that up just like that. All right. So now we're going to take this butter and we're just going to put these butter slices throughout their meat here. Wipe our hands off real good. This brown sugar is really going to make it caramelize. Okay guys, so the ribs are to that 200 degree internal temperature, which is what we strive for with the country style ribs. Now there's a handful of ways that you can prep these kinds of ribs, but really only two ways really work. One, you can wrap in butcher paper. Okay, obviously you're not caramelizing your sauce onto the rib, because it would leak through the butcher paper. But you can rub them, wrap them in butcher paper, and prep them. You can just put them on the grill. But with country style ribs, the fat content or the fat cap is plenty thick. So it's going to take it, several hours longer to cook. By wrapping them in the aluminum foil is just one way of doing it. And I do it that way because of creating the caramelized sauce. So with that being said, we're going to take them out and show you what they look like and kind of go from there. All right, I've owned the ReqTec RT700 now for about 6 years, and it's by far one of the best, in my opinion, grills I've ever worked with. So they are top notch. They're pricey, but they are top notch. All right. So what I normally do is I'm just going to cut my foil back on the ribs. Oh, the smell meter is wide open. It is wide open. Give you folks a shot here. And as you can see, our sauce is completely embedded in there. All right, let me get these plated up, and I'll show you the final product and kind of how it all come together. And there you go, guys. Country style ribs. And I'm telling you right now, these are just so tender. It was hard to even plate them, that, you know, they just are going to melt in your mouth. So it's an easy recipe, nothing hard, and something you and your family can really enjoy. Friends, we use this recipe a lot of times as even a side, because we can take and dice the ribs up, skew them, and make rib tip appetizers with them and stuff. So it's really, really, really an easy recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as usual, if you like the video, please do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, and please, if you're inclined, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more of these kinds of videos, some fishing videos. Obviously, everybody knows I tie crappie jigs, walleye jigs, all different kinds of jigs for a number of different fish and stuff, fly fishing. We have camping adventures and stuff, so a little bit of something for everybody. And we look forward to building our channel up and sharing all of our adventures with you. I thank you for your time tonight. I thank you for stopping by and watching the video. We greatly appreciate it. And we're going to sign off and say, have a great evening. Please be kind. We'll see you on the next video. Good night, everybody.